How you doing today? I pray all is well in Jesus. Today I'm talking about the mental health. I'm talking about the mental health, which is very important to God's people, right? Remember, we must know if we don't have mental health, we can't serve God like we want to, because God talks to us in our mind, and so does Satan, because we have a conscience, right? Okay, so we want to try to take care of our mental, but how many know that's hard to do? Depending on your background and how old you are and what generation you was raised in, a lot of times mental health issues was looked over, okay? People didn't really talk about it, or you were just categorized as crazy, or maybe had a demon or something, okay? Well, anyway, today I thank God for shining light in dark places. I thank God for, giving us some revelation so that we can get to the root of our problem and get treatment if we see that we need it. And we just go from there. So the conversation today kind of start like this. I wrote it out, so bear with me, please. Okay, so dopamine and serotonin are neurotransmitters or molecules that carry chemical messages between nerve cells in the brain and body. These chemicals affect how we feel. They are often called happy hormones because they both contribute to feelings of well-being and pleasure. Now, when dopamine is released in our brain, we feel a sense of temporary pleasure. Serotonin, while similar to dopamine, creates a long-lasting feeling of happiness or well-being. So you see, these two chemicals are responsible for how we feel, okay? But when humans get exposed to trauma and abuse for long periods at a time, this can cause their body to stop producing dopamine and serotonin. I bet you didn't know that, did you? And when this happens, even a happy person, a healthy, happy person, a happy person that go lucky, you know what they call them? They happy all the time, they bubbly, Even that kind of person can begin to feel sad and hopeless within the same hour. That same individual can also feel exhausted even after getting a good night's sleep. Many adults who suffer from manic depression and PTSD, which is post-traumatic stress disorder, do not understand the difference between feeling nervous, angry, or sad, or down when a loved one passes away versus feeling those emotions because their body has stopped producing dopamine and serotonin. Now, I know this is getting good, right? This is helping somebody, I pray. So what are some causes? What are some things that cause people who have these symptoms not seek help? Well, I'm going to tell you. One, some of them don't know that they can be helped. Okay. Two, some of them judge their symptoms to be normal because they've always had these symptoms since they was little. Okay. Or since they were teenagers. Okay. And then some of them say that their relatives have these symptoms and some of their friends have them. Okay, then three, some of them some of them think seeing a mental health specialist will have to mean that they are crazy, and that's a lie. That's not true. And number four, many don't have health insurance. 5, many say they feel better after they smoke, drink, watch porn, have sex, or do drugs. And 6, many can't accept that they may have to take medicine. Okay? Another thing I discovered about depression and PTSD is that the longer you put off treatment, the worse your symptoms can become. So again, I went over some of the symptoms, but a few other ones again is feeling hopelessness, feeling anxious or nervous, feeling fearful, having low energy, and in some cases, feelings of being better off dead. Now that's not good. And I know because a lot of us has experienced that, even some of you who is watching me, you've experienced that, okay? So don't ignore your emotions. and your feelings, because they could be trying to tell you that something in your body is causing your mind to think wrong. Okay, to think wrong, it's causing your mind to be off balance. Okay, and don't let cigarettes, for those of you who do these things, don't let cigarettes, black and mild, alcohol, marijuana, cigars, drugs, sex, porn, and people make you think that everything is okay just because you feel better after using these things. You feel better for a moment, you know. Another very important thing that a person must be willing to do while seeking treatment is surround yourself with people who care about you, although this can be hard for those who experience abuse from close relatives or friends. Depending on your diagnosis and the severity of your symptoms, though, you may need to take time off from work, those of you who have a job, or work for a company. Choose to work for a company that understands your illness. Some companies actually have invented programs that will let people who suffer from depression and PTSD or certain mental illnesses to take off from work with pay without them having to worry about losing their job, okay? If you're close, now I'm talking about church. So if you're close to your church family, you can keep going to church as well as invite them to pray for you. If you're not already a member, though, don't get in a hurry to join a church, because all churches don't have the same agenda. Remember, you're not all the way well. And because almost all churches will have good and evil believers attending service there, you may want to watch service online or visit a few years before deciding to join a church, okay? So protect your mental health, because not all believers have God's love, which is agape love, which is unconditional love, abiding in their hearts, you know? And remember, going to church and fellowshipping with other Christians shouldn't ever be a bad experience for those who walk in love. Judas wasn't willing to walk in love, which caused him to betray Jesus. So protect your mental health at all costs. I pray this message helped the people it was meant for. Until the next time, thank you for listening to Represent the Bride of Christ Ministries. If you feel this message has helped you, please like it and feel free to share. Also, I want to talk to you, since we are talking about mental health. I have a book called What's My Part? Solving Problems. It's Not Hard When Everyone Does Their Part. You can get this book on Amazon.com, or you can inbox me and I get one to you. This book covers, first of all, I call this book a great conversation starter, because this book discusses at least about 20 subjects. Okay, 20 subjects. It talks about relationships, stress, mental illness, religion, and how religion can stress you, how going to church can stress you. Not how God can stress you, okay? That God is not religion. He's a human. He's a person, okay? He wants a relationship for you. He wants to make you feel better and help you have the best life you can have. So I'm not talking about, when I talk about religion, I'm not talking about God himself. I'm talking about the community, or how some churches run their church, okay? How they set up certain programs in there that benefit this group of people, but not this group of people, okay? You see what I'm saying? So it talks about raising responsible children, how that has its price. It talks about, are you balanced? It talks about relationship again, and how to find the person that's right for you. It talks about not judging people based on their appearance. We talk about that all the time. It talks about not competing with your friends, or you won't have any. It talks about bullies in the workplace. And then it talks about bullies and those they target. And it asks you the questions about yourself, because if you've been bullied, you will want to know, or you will want to find out, why are they targeting you, and how to, not let that happen. So, and then we also talk about CPS and how when they get involved in your life, in your family life, how to use them in a way that they can help the family, instead of just dictating what to do. But you can bring them in and they can help you help the family. It talks about bullies again, never give up on your dreams, diversity, and how God made everybody to bring glory to him. He may